It's not too late for year-end giving. Joining me now is Lisa Dietlin. She's the president of the Institute of Transformational Philanthropy, here to talk about how you can make a difference now and see a difference when your tax time rolls around. Thank you, as always, for coming on the show.
Oh, I love being here with you, Angie.
And this is a time when people start to feel pressure to give, but for good reason.
Well, they do. First of all, their mailboxes are full. You know, if you're like me, you're getting 3 to 5, requests in the mail, maybe multiples of the same organization. And many of my friends and colleagues and clients say, oh my gosh, how do I sort through these? Where do I even begin?
Okay, so where do you begin?
Well, one of the things you have to remember is that America is such a generous country. You know, last year, Angie, we gave away $1 billion a day.
A day?
A day.
That blows my mind. I love this. I love this. And I've always said that Americans are generous.
We are. We're considered,
Traders are very generous.
We're considered the most generous individuals in the world, though philanthropy exists everywhere in the world. But $1 billion a day, $373 billion was given away last year, with 80% of that coming from individuals, and half of that coming from households with income under $100,000. So everyday people making extraordinary gifts. Now, here's what's another surprising fact, is that 80% of nonprofits receive 50% of their funding in the last 2 months of the year.
So this is an important time. So that's why we're being inundated with requests.
It is. It is a very important time. So a couple things to do. One is take a look. I always say when you get those envelopes in the mail and those requests via email or what have you, set them aside in your pile. If you're like me, you have a pile of bills or a bill box, set them aside to look at. And then think about, when you sit down, what did you give to last year? What was really important to you last year? Usually you have a house of worship, an alma mater, a children's school, but what was important to you? Then look at what happened this year. Perhaps somebody in your family adopted a child or a pet, and that became important. Perhaps mom or dad got diagnosed with a disease, and that's now important to your family. Perhaps you moved to a new community, and you know there's a special initiative taking place, and that's important. So think about those new things, set a budget, and don't let guilt drive your philanthropic decisions.
My favorite stories are the layaway angels, and I know there's already been a few out there, so tell us how that works.
Well, layaway angels came back during the recession and have stayed around, and it's the idea of that people lay away items that they can't pay all off at that one point in time, so they pay a little every week, and people actually go in and pay off the amount. My family's done this for a number of years, where we, instead of exchanging gifts, the money we would spend on the gifts, we actually put into a pool, and somebody gets designated to go to. It's usually a Kmart or a Walmart or a store like that has multiple departments in it. And my brother always insists we get a package with kids' toys in it, because he wants to make sure the kids, that Santa comes, and we pay off their layaway, and then the clerk gets to call and tell them that their layaway is paid off and they can come in. Now, make sure you call the store before you go, because they have different rules. Some of them, cut it off 2 weeks ahead of time, some a week ahead of time, some 24 hours. So you want to call, but there's still time to be a layaway angel.
I didn't know there was a deadline. That's good to know. Thank you for making a difference in our lives. We appreciate you.
Well, happy holidays, and let's look forward to 2017 being a great year of giving.
We're in.